Good evening, everyone. Welcome to session number 6 in our health and wellness series. This evening, we have a great session for you, and it will be by Mr. Jaime Thompson, Exercise to Improve Your Mental and Physical Health. Jaime Thompson started off in the fitness industry in his college gym, training his fellow soccer teammates. His passion further led him to, during the COVID-19 pandemic, to become a short-term coach at his CrossFit gym in the Bahamas, which he then assumed ownership of with the help of the Access Accelerator. Jaime eventually obtained his level 1 certification and is currently a CrossFitness level 2 trainer. He continues to share his love for fitness and with others, and always works to cater to every client's personal goals. His drive for fitness is organic. He strives to help everyone he crosses paths with to make small steps for lifelong changes in their health and wellness fitness journey, as he believes that this is the key to success. Jaime's objective, to sum it all up, is in one thing: to help the 242 crush some goals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Jaime Thompson.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Roll. It's a pleasure to be here. All right, guys. Well, once again, good evening. It's such a pleasure to have you guys here with me, along with the Access Accelerator today, here to really talk about the importance of health and wellness and its effect on your physical and mental well-being. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let me go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint. All right, so Mr. Rule might have mentioned a little bit about me already, but just to brief you guys on who I am, what I'm about again. I'm the sole proprietor of Happy Hour CrossFit. I'm a level 2 CrossFit trainer, June 2022 recipient. I am by CrossFit. I am the 3-time fittest man in the Bahamas. As I'm actually the reigning champion over the last 3 years. I'm enthused by all things fun and fitness. I eat, sleep, live, I breathe fitness, and I'm really self-driven to help everybody live a fitter, healthier, and happier life. All right, so all those dog lovers out there, I put in, I'm a dog dad, so anybody that loves the Huskies, I've got a little one of mine, and I'm powered by A Squared, so I couldn't have been here today if it wasn't for the Access Accelerator. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right into it, guys. So first and foremost, I'm sure everybody wants to know, how exactly does exercise improve our physical health and appearance? Okay, so the number one objective, the primary objective for a lot of people who are starting their fitness journey or getting into exercise is weight loss, especially in the 242. Now, weight loss is, weight loss through exercise is easily stimulated, as exercise amplifies the amount of calories that you burn on a daily basis. All right, so exercise is actually very beneficial to burning fat, as we're replacing it with lean muscle. And if you don't know already, the more muscle that you have, the more calories you're actually going to be able to burn on a daily basis, even when you're not exercising. As we all must know, on a daily basis, we are burning calories whether we're exercising or not. Now, when it comes to building strength, our bodies tend to adapt to the stresses of exercising by releasing hormones that are going to allow us to recover, and at the same time build those specific muscle groups when we're exercising. And then, as you'll notice, when you're getting into it, when you're starting your fitness journey and you're lifting those weights, or you're going on your first walk, you're going to start to feel a lot more hungry. And what's happening there is your metabolism is getting revved up, and that's going to actually help you. That's going to help you increase the caloric intake. In other words, you're going to be feeling the urge to consume a lot more with regards to the nutritional aspects of things that are going to help fuel your exercise in the days to come. Furthermore, we're also, when it comes to exercise, you're increasing your flexibility. You know, for those who haven't been able to touch their toes in a while, you know, this is your opportunity to finally get to that point where you're back where you're back where you started. You're improving your endurance. To those who have those who need to catch their breath when they're climbing the flight of stairs, exercise definitely helps you serve to resolve that mountain. Okay, let me move that. So aside from the physical aspects of things, a lot of persons when they're exercising, they're taking a bit more of an internal approach with regards to health. So we're talking about the regulation of cholesterol levels and sugar levels, just based as a result of the amount of calories that you're burning when you're exercising. All of that will serve to stimulate regulation in those specific vital areas. So we're talking about persons who may be pre-diabetic, diabetic, might have high blood pressure, and so forth. And then when it comes to, again, more so the physical aspect of things, you're improving your functional capabilities. And on the next slide, I've got a little joke for you guys. We won't be able to laugh together because I can't see any faces, but I'm sure you'll enjoy that one. But you know, you'll be able to feel better. You'll be able to move better. You know, not only will you be able to touch your toes, but you'll feel a lot more mobile in specific areas. And then overall, when you're exercising, you're improving all of those different elements of fitness. Okay, so it'll make you a completely different person, almost make you feel like a superhero. All right, and that'll lead me again into that next slide. And at the end of the day, you'll look good and you can feel good. All right, so let me go ahead. Right. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are trying to have a lot of question marks when we're looking on the screen right now. We've got a guy sitting on the toilet and we've got Superman and Wonder Woman on the screen. So this is just how broad the spectrum is for persons who are trying to exercise. So you have somebody who's on the completely other end of the stick, who's trying to, you know, put on a whole bunch of muscle, be the fittest person in the gym. And then you have somebody who's just trying to be able to sit on the toilet by themselves and, you know, enjoy their peace and quiet without anybody else. And that's the objective of, you know, when you're really getting into exercise. That's the approach that a lot of trainers like myself take, and it helps you stay a lot more functional and a lot more capable of doing things over an extended period of time. That was that would have been funny. All right, so when you're getting into exercise, another big question that I hear from a lot of people is, how many hours should you exercise weekly? And so to start off, I always recommend to everybody that, you know, you want to start off with at least an hour a day. All right, start small and then focus on trying to develop something that's consistent, that works for your schedule. Okay, and ultimately we hope for that to lead into a routine of going maybe 3 times a week. Maybe as time progresses, you feel confident enough to make that 4 times, so on and so forth. And then you might even get to a point where you're working out almost every day of the week. You know, maybe it's no longer become a necessity, more so a hobby. And that's how we try to integrate everybody into exercising. And my recommendation is typically to try a Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine. Okay, guys. Next, so now I know I spend a lot of time talking about weight loss, and so I couldn't have moved on without sharing with you guys the most beneficial exercises that would serve to help you burn the most calories. All right, and so with those, we're talking about, you know, those strict cardiovascular exercises ranging from walking to running. And then, you know, if you want to incorporate any other variations, you've got jump rope that burns a ton, swimming, running, rowing, and then unpopular exercises like weightlifting, which would serve to burn a whole lot of calories, but at the same time target those muscles with regards to growth a whole lot more. And then we got CrossFit. I had to put that in there for my folks who like a good mix of everything. All right, now we've spoken about the physical side of things. Now I'm going to go ahead and dial into exactly how our mental health and stress levels are affected by exercise. Okay. Now, for those who aren't familiar with the specifics, we're going to dial into that for a second. So exercise releases endorphins. Okay, endorphins are those chemicals that are released during exercise and other pleasurable activities. You know, whether you're stretching, whether you're actually getting a massage, anything that's actually enjoyable to your well-being, and that'll serve to release those endorphin chemicals. It's a good mood kind of chemical, so it gets you feeling good, and it helps you reduce stress, relieve pain, and then serves to overall improve your sense of well-being. And aside from that, it's the best hour of your day. You're walking into a gym, you're going to be surrounded by persons who aim to give you the best experience throughout your day. We all understand that, you know, on the outside, in the outside world, in our 9-to-5s, whether you're an entrepreneur or an executive, you know, we all understand that on the outside, there's a ton of stresses, a ton of tasks that we are faced with on a daily. And so when you walk in and you're going to exercise, whether you're being surrounded by trainers, by members, whether you're walking in a group or exercising in a group at a park, you know, it's putting you in a realm full of positivity, full of vibes that are going to release those endorphins, getting you feeling in the best mood that you've been in for the day. And it creates a temporary distraction. You know, whatever was going on the outside, whatever you were dealing with at work, whether it was a customer, an employee, it's taking you away from all of those distractions, which makes that hour even more enjoyable for you. On top of that, it creates a social environment. So you'll come to find that the persons that you're exercising with, that you're working with for that hour, they become friends, they become family in the days to come, in the months to come, where you're going out with them and you're taking a bit more of a healthier approach to the social aspect of things. And if, you know, as an entrepreneur and executive, if you don't have time for that, then that time to exercise is your opportunity to socialize. So it gives you a really good environment, not just to focus on yourself, but also still have a social life going on. And, you know, aside from that, just to tap in on a few other things to raise some awareness, the exercise will serve to reduce anxiety, depression, and again, improve your overall self-esteem. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and move on. Now, a lot of times when we're facing persons who are more so on the entrepreneurial or executive side of things, when it comes to their professional life, we as trainers typically try to recommend a personal trainer. And that's just typically because that's going to be your best opportunity to stay consistent, as trainers are going to be able to work alongside you in the most flexible way as possible. You know, when you're going into group classes, that's when you have to stick to a specific time every day. Whereas, you know, if you have a 10 a.m. meeting that got in the way of your session, maybe you can come in at 11 or 12. Trainers give you the opportunity to stay consistent over an extended period of time, while at the same time still maintaining that social aspect of things, being faced with somebody who cares, who's really supportive and really trying to help you not just exercise, but help you exercise to crush some goals. And, you know, aside from that, you've got that increased accountability. You've got the trainers right there alongside you, cheering you on to complete the workout, not just inside the gym, but also on the outside when it comes to nutrition, you know, checking in on you to see what you're having for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And then just helping you stick to your routine. Okay. Along with that flexibility, you know, those personal trainers are going to be the ones that are going to be messaging you to say, hey, Leo, I hope you're going to make it in for your session today. And, you know, when they're faced with a conflict, then they're still doing their very best to find a way to incorporate that exercise into your routine. All right. There's that increased efficiency as well. So one of the biggest issues that we're faced with when it comes to clients coming into the gym or starting their fitness journey is that they just simply don't know what to do. And so you're going into the gym or you're going outside and you're just going on a 15-minute walk and you're calling it a day just simply because you don't know what else there is to do. And so there's a lot of time wasting going on. And so when you're being provided a personal trainer, when you're taking that route, you have the opportunity to be provided with a program that not just a program, but something that's effective and that's going to allow you to achieve what you're looking for in that specific period of time. All right. And then again, as I mentioned, like with a busy schedule, personal trainers, we make it happen. 7 days a week, whether it's morning or evening or right in the middle of lunchtime, we're still trying to do what we can to help you stay consistent. Okay, so those would serve to be the biggest benefits to pursuing personal training. Now, when it comes to picking a personal trainer, there's a wide range of different trainers throughout the Bahamas who all possess different personas, different personalities. And so not everybody is going to be the best fit for you, but when you're getting started, it's definitely a good thing to really meet different personal trainers and really get to know them and see exactly whether or not their persona is something that you're going to be able to, that's going to be able to complement you. You want to be provided with somebody who's fun and friendly, specific to your personality, and it's going to give you the best experience possible when it comes to exercising. All right, so I jotted a couple things down for you. So flexibility. So again, you want somebody that's going to help you no matter what the conflict is, whether work's gotten in the way and you can't make it at that scheduled time, and you want to come at another time. Some personal trainers don't necessarily do that on a daily basis. A lot of us tend to have our weeks set up 2 weeks in advance. And so, finding somebody who's going to be flexible enough with you so you can stay consistent is very imperative to helping you be successful on your fitness journey. All right. Then most importantly, we've got a trainer that listens. All right. We have a lot of trainers around here that tend to just throw people in workouts, not necessarily worrying about what specific muscle groups they're working on, and or really trying to tailor to the goals that you're trying to achieve. And so you want to make sure that the trainer that you're going to be sharing this experience with is listening to you, with regards to not just what you're trying to achieve, but also those non-negotiables. So you might have some knee injuries that may have been triggered a couple of years back, or any other concerns, physical concerns that you may want to stress to your trainer. You want to make sure that you're going to be going on this fitness journey with somebody who listens and is going to ensure that you have the safest, most enjoyable and effective experience as possible. All right. The cohesiveness with regards to your relationship with your trainer is also important. So, if you have a friend out there who's actually a personal trainer, that's a great way to start, in my opinion. A lot of times, members who I might have went to high school with or college with, they're hitting me up to try and get some workouts in because they're already comfortable with me. The cohesiveness is already established. You want to make sure you're going into this with somebody that you're really comfortable with and you feel like you're going to have the most enjoyable experience with. All right, so that's me tapping into that again. And then last but not least, we need a trainer that's going to help you make this the best hour of your day. And so we're comparing this to all the stresses, all the different events that are occurring throughout your daily routine at work, in your professional or family life. And, we want to take this and subtract this from the day and put this in its own realm. All right. So this hour is meant to be the best hour of your day. And so we want to ensure that you have a trainer that's going to help make sure that's possible. All right. So what I went ahead and did over the last 24 hours, I went ahead and put together a budget. Whether you're taking advantage of personal training, small group classes, or just a traditional gym membership. All right. So when we're looking from a personal training standpoint, the going rate typically throughout the Bahamas and almost globally is about $65 per session. That's typically a session that'll run anywhere between an hour to an hour and 15, more or less, where you're taking advantage of specific programming that's going to help you achieve the goals that you're looking for. Another thing to tap in with regards to personal training is to keep in mind that personal training is going to be giving you specific programming that's going to tailor to what you're trying to achieve. And so because of that and the experience that you have with a more personal relationship with a trainer, and then the benefits of having nutrition also incorporated into that program, it'll serve to be a bit more on the higher end of the stick in regards to price when we're comparing that to just a regular gym membership. All right, so moving on, we've got the traditional gym and group class setting membership on a monthly basis. It can range anywhere from $85 to $200 per month. All right, and these prices are taken from local gyms throughout the Bahamas. And so this isn't to think that I'm just going on a global, I'm not scaling this on a global basis. This is everything throughout the islands of the Bahamas. All right. Then on top of that, when you're getting into your fitness journey, when you're starting to exercise, we also have nutrition supplements that serve to be pretty beneficial. Whenever you meet a trainer and you're first getting started, 9 out of 10 of the times you're going to meet them, they're going to be checking to see exactly what supplements you're taking. All right. And so we've got, I've put together the 3 most popular supplements. So we've got collagen peptides, which serves to stimulate joint and muscle growth. Typically that goes for around $40 for a 30 serving container. Then we have one of the most popular supplements. I'd consider it to be the most popular supplement, whey protein. Whey protein serves to stimulate growth. It helps to stimulate recovery, muscle growth, and just helps prime your body up for the next consecutive workout. And again, that goes for $69 for another 30 serving container. And then creatine. So creatine. When it comes to this supplement, for me, this is one of the only scientifically proven products that will serve to help you increase strength. All right, and so creatine goes for $40. The serving sizes are a whole lot smaller, and so for $40, you're getting 60 servings. So that'll carry you to about 2 months. Then on top of that, when you're starting to exercise, of course, you've got to have some equipment. You've got to have some personal gear that you're going to need. Okay, so that you're not hurting yourself, and then at the same time you're staying hydrated. So we've got yoga mats. I know Sports Center and other fitness facilities, stores around Nassau sell yoga mats for around $35. Gym gloves, you can get them for about $30. And then everybody, of course, needs a water bottle for $15. Okay, and if we look at the bottom, I've summed everything up based on the route that you'd be taking. So if you're planning to pursue a gym membership, just in the regular, traditional gym setting, your startup is looking to be about $250. Okay, that's going to be upfront, so that's inclusive of any exercise gear that you may need, any of the supplements that you may want to get, as well as a month's membership. And then moving forward, if we're trying to figure out how that's going to be sustainable, don't worry, $250 isn't going to be what you're paying per month, as it's less intense on a monthly basis because you've already paid those one time your exercise gear, those supplements, which you won't always need to buy every month. And so because of that, we're only acknowledging that $85 per month, and that's just pretty much covering your monthly membership. All right, so that's for your gym membership. When it comes to the group classes, the price goes up a little bit more. So the startup is $300, and then when we're talking about recurring, we're looking at $150 per month. And so that's a fee that would pretty much give you about 3 times a week in a functional fitness setting, in a boutique style gym, where you're provided with a trainer and small group classes. But all this isn't inclusive of onboarding prop packages. As when it comes to group class settings, typically companies that offer these services want to make sure that before you get into the class, you have a better understanding of how to complete specific movements, not just effectively, but also safely. So we're able to mitigate any risk of injury. And so typically that's another upfront cost that's I don't really have an accurate amount for. So I left that out. And so again, startup $300, and then if we're speaking about recurring fees, that's going to be pretty much your average, about $150 a month. And then if we're looking a bit more on the higher end of things, if we want to really take advantage of personal training, if we really want to have that trainer that's going to give us that one-on-one attention, make sure that we're achieving some goals, and at the same time having the best experience possible in our fitness journey, the startup is about $905. So that's a bit higher in comparison to those other fees, as I've tallied up those 65 sessions on a month-to-month basis. So if you're doing okay for a month, that's about 12 sessions a month, and that would pretty much add up to $780 per month. All right, so the 905, again, inclusive of all of your exercise gear and nutrition supplements, and then from there we've got your recurring charge there, pretty vivid for you. All right, guys, so I've pretty much covered everything that I needed to tap in on with regards to helping you get started on your fitness journey, really understanding the importance and the effects of exercise with regards to not just your physical appearance, not just the physical aspect of things, but also when it comes to the mental side of things. So it serves to significantly impact both ends of the stick. And really and truly, when it all comes together, when you're seeing goals, you're not just seeing goals, but you're also looking good, you're feeling good, you've developed the social life, so you've got that back and on your plate, and so you're off to the start where you're living a much fitter, healthier, and happier life.
Jaime Thompson, everybody. Thank you so much for that amazing presentation. We're now going to open the floor up for our question and answer segment, and also want to remind everybody that if you have a question that you'd like Mr. Thompson to answer, please feel free to post them in our Zoom chat here that we're running right now. And we're also streaming live on our Facebook feed, so you can place your questions there and we'll be sure to get to them. Now, Mr. Thompson, the folks were very eager for that question, so we'll start in our Zoom chat here. And our first question that we have from the audience says, can endorphins also be released through sex? If so, do you also recommend a minimum amount of times per week in terms of physical activity?
So once again, so as I mentioned, really good question. Thank you. Endorphins, as I mentioned, and I'm sure that's probably what triggered that question. It's triggered to anything that's considered to be pleasurable by specific to the person. Now, of course, obviously, sex is one thing that serves to be pleasurable to a lot of persons, and as a result, yes. To sum it up, endorphins are released into those areas, and so I'm not really one in this setting to really disclose how much you should really be doing that, but I mean, I wouldn't say that it's I would say it's something that does stimulate those chemicals.
I don't know if Preston is having some
So-
mic. Oh, there you go.
Oh, so sorry. I thought I asked the question, but I realized that I was speaking and I didn't unmute my mic. But thank you so much for that answer for the previous question, Jaime. The second question that we have here, it says, what is your advice on dietary supplements? For example, appetite suppressants or even dietary teas, etc.
So my recommendation to all of my clients, all of my members is to really try and take as much of a whole approach to nutrition as possible. So instead of looking to those processed foods that you see on the shelves in the food store, really serve on backtracking and taking a lot more focus on the whole foods aspects of things. And that'll serve to help stimulate the same responses that you're looking for with regards to those different areas. Now, sometimes some persons really need those supplements to amplify a response. And so as a result, I would definitely look at those as a resort, but not the first resort to solving those issues.
Thank you for that. And on the Facebook stream here, we have a question that says, are there any specific exercises or workouts that are particularly effective for busy entrepreneurs like myself that they can maybe incorporate in their daily routine or even throughout their day if they don't have time to maybe go to a gym or can't afford a trainer just yet?
Yeah, well, especially in light of COVID, a lot of trainers have taken a very online, a very virtual approach to delivering their service. And there are a lot of resources, Happy Hour CrossFit, and I'm sure other gyms throughout the Bahamas. They provide opportunities for those busy entrepreneurs or persons who not just can't make it to the gym, but are still a bit too timid for that type of environment. They have those opportunities available to you. And so what I would recommend is if you're looking for something that's effective to an entrepreneur that is that just doesn't have the time to make it into a gym, my recommendation would be to find a way to budget some equipment to purchase for at home, and then use that and then take that with you and go ahead and find a program that's going to help you achieve what you're looking to achieve, but in that at-home setting.
Thank you for that answer. Another question in our Zoom chat here says, I have had a surgery on my lower back, L4 and L5 specifically. She's done therapy. I found that resistance training in the gym helps more than therapy. What is your advice on this?
So this is where I see a lot of clashes going on between trainers and persons in the professional medical field, as a lot of persons, if when you're going into the medical field and you're looking at rehab, a lot of persons are in reference to professionals, they are pretty objective when it comes to certain movements, certain levels of intensity of exercises, and it from my experience, it hasn't really mattered what type of injury it is. I've just heard of a lot of rejections when persons have had to undergo surgery, just in reference to returning to my gym to exercise and stuff. And really, I just believe there's a huge misconception behind what we do as trainers, as we're not just trying to provide an approach that's going to help you lose weight, build muscle, focus on your body composition, but also we try to take a very rehabilitative approach to it as well. As I showed you guys on the slides earlier, we want to make sure that you're able to squat on the toilet by yourself when you're 90, and that just shows how far we reach to with regards to helping you help you become a lot more functional. And so in response to that question, I would just really say, you can, if you want to take the advice of a medical professional, I will say try not to try not to let that close the door of going back into a gym, as there are a lot of opportunities to help strengthen and improve areas such as as somebody's lower back area, to not just to a point where it feels recovered, but to a point where it feels, stronger than it's ever felt before. I have a personal training client that has sciatica, and her back feels, according to her, the best it's ever been.
Thank you so much for that response. Another question here says, if someone does construction work, does that equals to getting a daily exercise?
It's pretty debatable. So when you're looking at construction, I'm still considering that in the realm of work. And so because of that, it's not going to be stimulating the response that we're looking for. Not just with the physical aspect of things. Remember, we're also trying to improve the mental side of things as well. And so whether you're doing construction or any type of manual labor, you should still find a way to stress your body in that same manner, but just in an environment that isn't your 9-to-5 job.
Another question, well, more so less a statement to pick your mind just a little bit. What's your thoughts on persons who may get surgical enhancements such as liposuction, gastric sleeves, bypass, etc., and then they pair that with exercising? Do you have any thoughts on that, or maybe some hot takes in reference to how popular surgical cosmetic surgery is now becoming?
No comment. No, I don't want to go into that.
Thank you. That's no problem at all. We'll go to another question. So another question says here, do you recommend intermittent fasting or meal replacements, and what are the benefits and drawbacks of the same?
To an extent. So intermittent fasting, as I'm sure a lot of people are aware, it serves to help stimulate a response that's going to help you lose weight. And starting out with that is great, but what a lot of people don't realize is that when you do intermittent fasting and you're losing weight, you're dropping the pounds, great. You get to a point where you realize you're not losing any more pounds. You're at a plateau. And so what happens in that instance is that your metabolism is actually slowing down, because it's not taking in the foods that as it was on a daily basis before, to allow its digestive system to keep moving. And so basically it's telling itself, well, there's nothing for me to digest, so I'm going to go to sleep. And so your digestive system becomes very lazy. And so as a result, you become very stagnant. And so for me, I think it works very well to an extent. However, you get to a point where you're going to have to figure out and find ways to gauge it, to help you lose weight and allow those numbers to continue to go down. When it comes to meal replacements, I have this question a whole lot when it comes to persons who are trying to put on weight, who are trying to increase their mass. And from my experience, from my perspective, I've seen people try to take those meal replacements and utilize them to literally replace their meals. And the problem with that is that you're not taking in the nutrients, the raw nutrients that you typically would have been absorbing from your normal meals. And so that'll serve to kind of have you still in the same position as you were before, because ultimately you're taking in the same amount of calories, and as a result, it's not really going to be stimulating the response that you're looking for. And so for me, I I would take those those quote unquote meal replacement supplements, and my recommendation would still be to find ways to not use that to replace your meal, but allow that to also supplement your meals. So have that and some, if that answers their question.
Thank you for that. And we have another question here in our Zoom chat. Is it safe to consume protein powder every day?
I'm sorry, you cut off for a second.
So sorry. Is it safe to consume protein powder every day?
So when it comes to protein powder, I always try to encourage people to look at the label on the back of those products, as they have a lot of unnecessary ingredients inside of those powders. And so there are certain powders, I'll tell you, that I wouldn't recommend you take at all. And then there's certain supplements that I would highly encourage to take on a regular basis.
Thank you so much for this question and answer, Jaime. And for my final question, for persons who may want to start their fitness journey in whatever capacity that may look like, and with the specifically with Happy Hour CrossFit, how can they get in touch with you? Where can they find out more information? How can they get in the process of starting their journey?
Sure. So if anybody's ready, willing, and able to start their fitness journey, or if you'd like to just sit down and have a conversation, you can feel free to shoot me a WhatsApp message at 242-445-7297, and we can start right there and see how best we can set up a time to meet and chat if you want to talk over the phone, or if you want to just find out a little bit more of what we have to offer. You can check out our social media pages. We are called Happy Hour CrossFit. Our website is www.happyhourcrossfit.com. Instagram label is the Happy Hour CrossFit. And you can use those different social media streams to check us out. Shoot us a direct message, and somebody will reach out to you and as soon as possible to see how we can help you get started.
Someone in the comments asked if you can repeat the number just one more time, please.
Sure, it's 445-7297.
Thank you so much for that. I'm now going to open the floor back for Mr. Leo Roll for question and answer. For the trivia section, sorry.
Thank you so much, Preston. Thank you, everyone. Can't see myself, but anyway. Hopefully you can see me because I can't see myself. Nonetheless, thank you so much for a very informative session, Jaime. I look forward to all those persons that will, of course, be reaching out to you. Tonight, we have a gift, and as you know, we usually try to make sure that our gift is in line with the speaker that is presenting and the topic that they're presenting on. And so tonight, given that, Jaime, you're speaking primarily to exercising so that your physical and mental health will be better, we thought it fitting to give an ultrasonic, and I was hoping that the video, I don't know if you can see it, oil essential diffuser, because we know that after you work out on a daily basis, or even if you go for a walk, or even coming from a stressful day at work, just having that mist in your room with some of those essential oils helps to calm your nerves and to get you in a space to relax. And so this is a $100 value from the Sleep Gallery. And the question is, during Jaime's presentation, he mentioned a set number of hours that you should work out, or recommended number of hours that you should work out a week, how often, and some recommended days. What are those, please? So give me the amount of hours that he recommended. Give me how often he said we should work out, and based on that number of days, what are those recommended days? The first person in the chat.
1 hour, 1 hour a day, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
You're very correct, Miriam. So you can stop by our office tomorrow, Gladstone Road, Phil's building, and once you ask for Mr. Roll, or you ask for Preston, or anyone from the office, they can give you your prize.
I'm sorry, I'm on Long Island.
Well, that's a struggle.
But you can
Um,
put it on the mailbox for me next week.
what I'll do is connect with our office administrator in Long Island, and I'll try to have
Yes,
her
sir.
provide you with the gift. So we'll figure a way
Okay,
to get it
thank
there
you.
for her.
Okay, thank you so much.
And here it is. I realize what's happening with my camera now. Can you see it? Mr. Fire as well as the essential oils.
Very nice, love it.
Thank you, Miriam.